I'd worked good and hard on the investigation, done everything Carla had asked. Now I just wanted to relax and play some b-ball. And also settle a little score I had with Jeffrey. Yo, nice threads, Jeffrey. Very stylish, my man. You got me totally psyched out and that shit.
Right. Okay, here's the rules. First to score 10 points wins the game and $200. That cool for you?
You can kiss your money goodbye.
We'll see. Let's do it.
Oh dear, you little nerd. You have no idea the pain that you're in for. Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to the Fahrenheit commentary, where it will be the best of times, but it will also be the worst of times, as we have simultaneously the best minigame in the game, that of course being the basketball match between Jeffrey and Tyler right here, and the worst minigame that you'll be seeing in a bit. In the meantime, though, we're just going to enjoy having fun, really. It's pretty much the same sort of Simon, you know, match the colours to the analog stick inputs and, yeah, you know, make sure that you get the ball in the hoop. I really shouldn't have to explain the gameplay of basketball. I assume you play this game for yourselves. That is to say, basketball in real life, not basketball in, well, the computer game sense. But anyway, yeah. Again, if you miss a lot of your prompts while you have the ball in your possession, ball goes back to Jeffrey, and again, if you fail to get the prompts either way, then Jeffrey scores a point, and quite frankly, well, you just can't allow that... Sorry about that. Distractions. They happen. But in the meantime, however, you just can't allow Jeffrey to win. It would go against our code. But yeah, as you continue to score more points in the game, yeah, Jeffrey or Tyler will continue to have more, banter all throughout. Sadly, I don't end up getting my favourite quote here, which I would have let play all throughout, which would have been like, maybe you should have taken up, chess? You know, just further rubbing it in that nerd's face that he ain't got no game!
Now that was pure poetry.
But yeah, we got pure poetry and motion, which is pretty much all we get. Not a bad quote, but, I still prefer the one that makes fun of Jeffrey for being a nerd. But yeah, I also have to admit, like, a little bit incongruous with the plot. Yeah, I mean, they don't really have an indoor facility for this, but they're also playing basketball out here in what is otherwise, you know, freezing cold weather. I'm pretty sure they don't actually play basketball, the game's in weather this severe, but, well, I mean, I say severe, but I mean, at the same time, though, would you really be playing in, like, that sort of equipment in, like, freezing cold temperatures? I don't know. Then again, Tyler and Jeffrey do have a bit of a score to settle, so maybe they consider it more important than, I don't know, freezing their tits off, I suppose. But yeah, either way though, it's a fun minigame, pretty enjoyable. Except when you fail like that, and it makes me sad. As I said though, depending on the difficulty you're playing on, prompts are either, you know, easier to miss or, you know, get accurate. As, you know... Again, your window of perfection is limited. Ooh, oh! Bitch getting a little bit testy. Which are no doubt frozen, becoming testicles. But yeah, your window of opportunity to really sort of like nail these is limited. As I mentioned beforehand, again, play the game on easy mode. You can miss like I think like 2 or 3. Normal mode you can miss like maybe 1, I think, and still technically get through, but hard mode though, you're really gonna know your shit, and again, I can't tell whether or not it's just because I'm getting older and my eyes are starting to fail me, but yeah, the colours tend to sort of blur into the background a little bit more compared to everything else. I'm pretty sure that was probably done to sort of add a bit of visual clarity to the scenes that are going on and not make it too distracting in terms of button inputs, but by that same token though, like, I mean, again, you sort of want these colours to stand out, and while they do most of the time, other times they have a tendency to blur into the background, which is a bit pish.
He hits the lane, he drives, and he scores! Ladies and gentlemen, that's our play of the day! Yo, you D up pretty good for a white cop.
You ain't so bad yourself. You got some game.
Maybe I should have mentioned, I did some ball at college. So, as for the 100, it's game over, man.
You're a real SOB, Tyler.
I know, and that's why you like me, Jeffrey.
By the way, I don't think we ever see Jeffrey again, so, yep, last time we ever got to see that freaking dweeb. But in the meantime, though, as we continue on with Carla, there's more plot shenanigans as she finally fires Detective, Robert Mitchum, who's pretty much here training, new recruits in terms of how to shoot, so,
Sergeant Mitchell?
yes, gun target practice. Oh dear, we are in trouble, aren't we, auntie? Especially in a story-based game where, you know, shooting mechanics aren't exactly first and foremost in terms of, you know, this game's forte. This isn't a third-person shooter, or first-person shooter, mind you, and in that aspect, yeah. In terms of pumping information out of this retired detective here who worked in the Kirsten case, we pretty much need to go to the gun target record and pretty much rack up some points. Now, in a similar vein to, you know, the autopsy scene beforehand, this really only exists more for, you know, the sake of boosting up Carla's mental health. You can still ask the detective questions. The only thing that really changes is his dialogue here, where he'll either say that, oh, well, Carla, you're actually a pretty good shot, or, wow, you suck, you should come back for training. Which, quite frankly, fuck that. But yeah, shoot the targets, get an extra, you know, time bonus to your points, avoid shooting innocents marked in white, and yeah, they call them terrorists. Because bear in mind, this wasn't the 2000s, and no doubt Le Frenchman David Cage was hoping to win some sympathy points from the yeehaw Americans with their cowboy hats and firing wildly into the air with their AK-47s and shooting down police helicopters and whatnot. But anyway, as for the reason why this minigame is absolute pish, as it is now the blurst of times. Well, this minigame sucks because, again, the aiming is absolutely fucking rigid, your controls are inverted, I believe, or at least from what I remember, and, yeah, it's not exactly too easy to hit the targets, you don't exactly have a reticle, you know, for added realism, because adding a reticle and adding gameplay functionality is a failure of the game designer. But yeah, you're also penalized for, you know, targets that you miss, targets that you hit with precision. And yeah, that's kind of a wee bit pish. You do have infinite ammo, which you'd have to reload though, so yeah, basically you're all sort of penalized for the targets you miss, innocents you hit, and well, how many, you know, targets you actually managed to hit that you're intended to hit. So quite frankly, yeah, this minigame sucks, but for whatever reason, I ended up doing surprisingly well at it, which is not... Well, it is what I wanted to do, but also not what I wanted to do.
You're a very good shot. I have to say you're a heck of a lot better than most I see around here. So, what do you want to know about the Kirsten case?
Well, for instance, what exactly happened?
Guy named Kirsten's calmly shopping in his local supermarket. He's in the kitchen accessories aisle when someone picks up a knife and stabs him to death.
Was the killer apprehended?
He didn't move from the spot. We found him sitting on the floor next to the victim. He was waiting for us, with this blank stare on his face.
Maybe he just cracked, lost it for a moment. Some people are like time bombs just waiting to go off.
That's the first theory I had, until I saw the coroner's report. Each knife entry cut cleanly into an artery, leading to the heart with perfect accuracy. Precision like that, I mean, the guy had a 1 in a million chance of doing that, even if he'd been a surgeon.
Did he have any history of drug addiction? Or previous psychiatric problems?
That's the first angle I looked into, but no drugs, no drinking, just a very normal Joe, family man, wife and kids, good neighbor.
God damn it, now we have to do it again. I wanted to point out how shit this minigame is, and it really is. It doesn't control well in the fucking slightest, but I don't know what the fuck I did so well. I usually suck whenever I play through this, but for whatever reason, I did really well, which is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to complain about it on the commentary when I was recording this, but I got like the reverse Let's Play curse, where I end up playing better because I wanted to complain about it. You know, instead of playing through a game and then I end up sucking because I want to do a decent showcasing it for commentary on the internet. I don't fucking know. either way, this minigame, just to relay my points here, it's rigid. Again, you're pretty much penalized, well, for basically pish controls, really. So, yeah, this minigame sucks. I can't wait for it to be over. But, at least for the sake of Carla's mental health and, you know, getting more plotty plot about the Kirsten murder, yeah, the only thing we really learn of note here is that these murders are all connected, and it does end up stretching back much farther than, well, even Detective Mitchum's time. So, yeah, there is a long history of cases like this, but for one reason or another, they were dropped. Why exactly, who can say, and who exactly contacted Carla about all this? Well, will it be explained, or will it not? I mean, there is one explanation as to why she was alerted to this, but quite frankly, that delves into, well, late-game territory that isn't really well explained in its own right, so... yeah, it's all a bit of a conflict of interest of the right hand not knowing what the left is doing, really, so... yeah, either way, like, I mean, at this early point in the game, it is still interesting, it's building up the conspiracy elements. So again, there is intrigue, it's just that it's sort of let down a bit later on in the plot here, really. Stop doing so well at this minigame, I have to complain. Complain! Well, there will be more time for complaining next time. So, on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, keeping new metal, and next time on the Fahrenheit commentary, well, we finally return control to Lucas and, see what exactly, Marcus's contact has to say about his paranormal shenanigans. Catch you later.
Excellent target. Looks like you're a natural.
You didn't stop your investigation there, did you?
No, this case really intrigued me. What could have motivated him to do something like that? I mean, I checked out piles of leads and discovered almost by accident that this wasn't the first. There had been other killings with the same profile.
You mean where the killer had the same bizarre MO and stuck around afterwards?
Exactly. 3 weeks earlier, on the other side of town, another stabbing victim in the middle of the street, no motive. Then I discovered a third case, 2 months prior to that. Then another, and always the same MO.
You mean to say the killings are all connected?
No idea. All I know is that the murders were basically identical. He slices the arteries leading to the heart, slices them cleanly, and then carves a symbol on his own arms.
And your investigation into the supermarket killing. Did it lead anywhere?
You should drop this one, Detective. This is not just a murder case. There's something very odd going on behind the scenes.
Looks like I'll be starting a new file.